Elizabeth at A Literary Princess, and today I'm doing the Quarter Year Crisis book tag. This tag was created by Roisin over at Roisin's Reading. I was not tagged, but I did this last year. I've been seeing people putting them up this year, and I was like, it's time. So, there are 9 questions. Let's jump right in. Question number 1, how many books have you read so far? I have read 25 books, which is actually halfway to my goal of 50. I originally set my goal at 100, and then I was in a really horrible reading slump for the first 2.5 months of the year. And I was like, we're just gonna lower that down. But March and April have been very good to me reading wise. I don't think I'm gonna put the goal back up though. I'm gonna keep it at 50 so that when I inevitably make it to 50 early on, because I'm already at 25, I'll be like, yay, and I'll feel good about myself. And is that stupid? Yes, but you know what, it works. Question number 2, have you already found a book that you think might be a 2023 favorite? If not, what was your favorite book that you read that wasn't quite 5 stars? So I have had 5 5-star reads so far this year. 2 of them have been rereads, so I don't count those toward my favorites, but these other 3, holy crap. So I'm gonna go in the order that I read them, and it also, I think, happens to be how they'll ultimately be rated for me. The very first book that I read this year was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And I loved this so much. It was perfect for me. It follows Emily Wilde, who is a scholar of fairies, and she is gone to this remote Scandinavian country to research this area's fairies, which have never been researched before. I loved this. It was so good. So good. The next one was Lost in the Moment and Found by Shannon McGuire. It's the 8th book in the Wayward Children series. And I mean, God, I thought I loved Emily Wilde, then this came along. I was like, it was perfect. I adored it. Oh, it was so good. It follows a girl named Antoinette, nicknamed Antsy, who goes into a portal world that is a shop full of lost things. And it explores her life in this shop and the price that she ultimately pays for traveling through worlds, because in this shop, other doorways into other worlds open up. Every time a new Wayward Children book comes out, I'm like, that's my new favorite. And then the next one comes out, and I'm like, that's my new favorite. So I'm like, Shannon McGuire, what do you have up for me next year? So at this point, I'm like, wow, I've got 2 fantastic books that I think are going to be in my top 10. How could anything top these? And then comes along Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This is a retelling of the fairy tale The Goose Girl, which follows a princess who is going to another country to marry the prince, but her maid forces her to switch places with her. So this is told from the perspective of the maid, who forces the princess to switch places with her and now becomes the princess. And mwah, mwah, perfection. Okay, perfection. This was so much fun. The main character, Vanya, is our narrator. Her voice is just amazing. And this as a retelling is just so good. I am going to have a whole post on my blog, a Fairy Tale Friday post on this, so I don't want to say too much. And then there's going to be a wrap up where I'm also going to be raving about this because it's going to be my favorite of the month. Probably. There is a possibility that, I'm reading way too many good books this year. What is this? Holy crap. This is my number 1 right now. Will that change? It's going to be hard, but there is one that I think could change it. We'll talk about that in a minute. Question number 3, any 1-star books or least favorite books of the year? So I haven't been very lucky. In short, no. I have not had any 1-star reads. I have not had any 2-star reads. Yeah, everything's been at least decent so far. Yay. If I had to pick a least favorite of the books I read, I would go with The Ingenue by Rachel Kapelke-Dale. This is a mystery thriller, I guess, sort of, but not really. And I really enjoyed her previous book, The Ballerinas, which also had mystery thriller elements, but wasn't really a mystery thriller. And I think that all of the issues that I had with The Ballerinas, which were not too many, I still gave it 4 stars, but they were amplified in this book. So I ultimately gave it 3 stars. I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed reading it. It was very readable, but the ending left me being I don't buy that. So if I had to pick a least favorite, it would be The Ingenue, but I imagine that something along the way in the rest of this year will be worse than a 3-star read. Question number 4, most read genre so far. Unsurprisingly, that would be classics with 9. So 9 classics so far. However, the runner-up is fantasy with 7, and I am so happy for that because I love fantasy. It's probably my favorite genre other than classics, if you can really call classics a genre. But I didn't really get to read a lot of fantasy last year, and my runner-up ended up being nonfiction because of my exams, which it's not that I dislike nonfiction, but in contrast, I have read 2 works of nonfiction so far this year, whereas by this time last year, I'd read a lot. So I'm really happy that fantasy is getting back up there because I find it so enjoyable and I just have such a great time with it. You'll notice all 3 of the top books I have so far are fantasy. Question number 5, a book that surprised you. So I decided to go with one that maybe wasn't a super good surprise. It was just kind of a weird surprise. And this was A Sunless Heart by Edith Johnstone. This is a Victorian novel. It's considered a New Woman novel, so toward the end of the century. And how do I describe this? Weird. It's a really weird book. It follows this young woman named Gasparine. Yes, it's a terrible name. Whose brother passes away, and she ends up falling in with this woman named Lotus Grace, who is a lecturer at the women's college. And there's some romantic feelings on Gasparine's part for Lotus, and then Lotus also has another relationship with a woman that is pretty romantic. That's not what surprised me. I knew going into this that was there. It's part of why I was reading it, because I was interested in that. What surprised me wasn't any of the content, it was more the structure, which was just really weird. We start out with Gasparine and we think she's going to be the main character, and then a little before the halfway point it shifts to Lotus and we never get Gasparine back as the main character. The story's not about her. It's just really odd. So I would say that so far, this is the book that surprised me the most, and not really in a good way, just in kind of a, what the F was that way? Question number 6, a book that's come out in 2023 already that you want to read but haven't yet. So technically there's none. However, I am gonna go with Secrets of Heartwood Hall because I am only partway through it. The US copy came out at the end of February, and the UK copy came out at the end of March, and I waited for the UK copy because it's pretty and I wanted it. So technically I have started reading it, but I have not finished it yet. But I'm loving it so far. And this is the book that could possibly oust Little Thieves. I don't know, we're gonna have to see what the ending brings, but so far it's so good. Number 7, one goal that you made that you're succeeding at. I made a goal to read one fairy tale retelling each month and then do a Fairy Tale Friday feature on them. So far, I am acing actually reading them. I'm doing great with that part. As for the posting on them, we'll get to that in the next question. But I am enjoying reading these retellings. It goes kind of along with another goal that I had, which was just to enjoy reading more, because I just have come off of my qualifying exams where I had to do a lot of really difficult, dense reading that wasn't always necessarily enjoyable. Like, I just want to have fun. So that is a priority this year, and I think I have succeeded in that. Question number 8, one goal that you need to focus on. Actually posting the Fairy Tale Friday posts. Doing great with reading them, not doing so great with posting them. So the idea is that I'm supposed to be switching off between posting here and posting on my blog. January, I posted my video on Ferris by Gail Carson Levine, and I was like, yeah, doing a great job. And then February, I was posting on my blog about Snow and Rose by Emily Winfield Martin, and it's still not up yet. And then March, I read The Seventh Bride by T. Kingfisher, and I'm actually filming that video today, like halfway through April. So, and then I have to write a blog post for Little Thieves. So, yeah, I'm not doing fantastic with posting, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. So question number 9 is new to you booktubers for 2023 that you recommend. I don't know if I followed these people before 2023. I think I might have, but I'm just gonna go with it because I can't remember when I follow anybody aside from people who I know I've been following for a really long time. So some new people that I've been watching are Priscilla at Evening Reader, Valerie at Thornfield Books, Nicole at A Day of Small Things, and Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading. I don't think anyone except Priscilla at Evening Reader are actually new YouTubers, but they are new to me, or newer to me. Like I said, definitely sure that I followed some of them back in like October, but they all have lovely channels. I've been really enjoying their videos. So that is it for the quarter year crisis book tag. I'm not going to tag anyone because I feel like everyone and their mother has done this already. And I would love to hear some of your answers to these questions down in the comments below. Also, if you have read any of the books I talked about, what did you think of them? It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.